What's up, guys? It's kami-ttc. Man, I'm excited. One of my favorite series of all time, One Punch Man. We've been doing One Piece stuff on this channel. We do reactions, of course. We're covering Freerun. We're covering One Piece. We're covering a Kaiju or Kaiju number 8. We're doing a lot, but what we haven't touched on is One Punch Man, and I'm super excited. Today, actually, we're going to do an S-class ranking. I don't know if y'all know, but there's very few videos out there on YouTube about this, which I'm shocked. Arguably, I think it's because we really haven't seen them do too much. So, I want to let people know that if you haven't read the manga, if you are new to One Punch Man, this is going to be spoilers. So, if you don't want spoilers, go ahead and tap out now. But if you're curious as to how they actually end up, please stay. If you're a manga or a webcomic reader, man, I'm excited to get y'all's feedback on this. This is really exciting. So, if you haven't done so already, click that like button, click subscribe, comment down below. Let's just hop into it. The 17th spot is actually going to be rounded out by TankTop Man. So, TankTop Man, if you've seen season 2 of One Punch Man, you know exactly what TankTop Man is capable of. But I will say that TankTop Man did have a little bit more feats during the monster arc. TankTop Man is able, at this point in time, in my opinion, to finally be able to best a demon, right? I think TankTop Man is a really good place marker for the S class, is that you have to be able to beat a demon to be even considered S class level. Now, I don't think TankTop Man is anywhere close to dragon level, and to be honest with you, we kind of saw this when he got confronted with dragon level monsters, i.e., when he was fighting against Gums, when he was fighting against Fear Ugly. I'm not gonna lie with y'all, this is gruesome, by the way. Did his famous tank top tackle, I believe that's his strongest attack that he has. When Fear Ugly just did one of his basic forearm caving punches, Tank Top Man didn't end too well. So, I think this is a really good place for Tank Top Man to start off with. 17. It's not a bad spot, but I think that we can't place him anywhere else. Now, to be honest with you guys, this is actually when it starts to get tricky already, right? Because when it comes to the S class, the bottom tier, and I even hate to say the bottom tier, but the bottom tier is closer in level to in power than the top tiers are to each other, right? So it's really hard sometimes, but I think I know who the next one is going to be, and it's actually going to be Mr. Puri Prisoner himself. But I will say, what he did in the Monster Association really took him up a level for me in terms of how he fares in One Punch Man. For example, we said Tank Top Man is a really good just place marker for people being able to be demon level monsters themselves. Well, Puri did that. He bested this guy who, in my opinion, is one of the strongest demon level monsters we've seen. And then he goes on to fight Neon. Now, we all know he didn't win this fight, nowhere near it. But to be fair, he did survive it quite readily. He actually survived it and did more. Compared to TankTop Master, all it took was one punch for Fear Ugly. Now, I don't know who's stronger with Neon or Fear Ugly. We're not getting into that. But when you just compare dragon level monsters, Puri Prisoner has had a better time going up against them. Also, he got his new bristle arm. It helps with not only, I believe, regeneration, it gives him defense, it gives him offense. Look at this still here. He's able to crack walls just by touching them. Compared to Tank Top Master, this is a feat of strength for him, right? If he were to do this with one finger, I think Tank Top Master would be like, thank God for the tank top, right? But then we have at number 15, honestly, one of my favorite characters in the entire series, the Drip Man himself, ZombieMan. ZombieMan is dripped out. ZombieMan is cool. ZombieMan is just a cool character. ZombieMan, in my opinion, too, is one of those situational guys. And this is just me theorizing here. I think ZombieMan is going to have like a training arc where he just gets stupidly strong. I think he's already on the verge of breaking his limiter, right? But we also see that his regeneration has, a limit to it. I think he's that close to breaking his limiter. You break your limiter, you know that your offensive capabilities are just going to skyrocket, as we've seen with Garo, as we've seen with Saitama. I think he can potentially be one of the strongest S class. But as he stands right now with his feats in the Monster Association, he's able to beat demon level monsters. When it comes to how he's faring against dragon level monsters, that's a little bit tough. Now, he did have a tough battle with Homeless Emperor, and that's going to be a tough battle with anybody. However, Homeless Emperor still has the base capabilities of a normal human. ZombieMan definitely struggled, and I don't know. I think this is a good spot to put him. I don't really see him beating dragon level monsters just one on one, duking it out. I don't really see him coming out on top. I don't think he's got the power for it. I think he's strong enough to beat demon level monsters, and I think he's strong enough to beat S class heroes who fight demon level monsters. But since he has the regeneration capability, that sets him at a higher spot than those two. So I have a person here who I know is very controversial. Um, hmm, I hmm, I want to start by saying that if you read the webcomic, you know exactly what I mean when this person is definitely busted, right? But we haven't seen it fully in the manga. We've seen it fully in the webcomic, but we've seen partial little pieces of it. And with our 14th spot, guys, I think it should go to Mr. Sweet Mask himself. Now, I didn't want to put up too many pictures of Sweet Mask while talking about this because if you look at what happens in the Monster Association, you would definitely think, Kami, this makes no sense, right? He got folded by Fear Ugly, but that was a situation where that was literally his weakness. Think about it, right? Like if Superman goes against Kryptonite, he's not Superman, he's weaker. He's still capable, don't get it wrong. It's just he's very, very weakened. Well, that happened with Sweet Mask, but with what we've seen, I think Sweet Mask deserves to be at the number 14 spot. So we're going to keep him right there. And to finally bottom out the 13 to 17 list, I think it should go to none other than Pig God. Why did I put Pig God over TankTop Master, over Puri Prisoner, over ZombieMan, over Sweet Mask? I'll be honest with you. Pig God is very hard to kill. I think even more so than ZombieMan. Now, the thing about ZombieMan is he will always regenerate, but it takes time. He's also at the level of power that he is, even post regeneration, pre regeneration, doesn't matter. The thing with Pig God is that Pig God, in my opinion, is a lot like that dude from My Hero. Alright, so his name is Fat Gum. That's who I think Pig God is really like modeled after, or Fat Gum is probably modeled after Pig God. Pig God also has the uncanny ability to eat his surroundings and turn that into energy. We haven't really seen him fight, but when he did fight, he did pretty well against Gums. He did better than TankTop Master. I think he would do better against Gums and pretty much everybody on the list before him. Also, his digestive system is insane. Now, Gums has a better digestive system, he said so, but Pig God has the ability to digest on the fly, get energy back, and also, to be honest with you, seemingly come back from defeat like it's nothing. He was able to eat Gums. He was able to survive that. He was able to save the majority of people that were on the ground fighting. I believe it was TankTop Master. I know it was a few of the mercenaries that were hired to go in before the S-Class heroes to infiltrate to infiltrate the Monster Association. So Big God is really capable. He's also a tank, if you think about it. He's just a tank that, unless you chop off his head, and is that even possible with all that fat around him? I don't know how you kill him. So I think Pig God is actually a really good person to have round us out with the bottom 13 to 17. And so to round out the number 12 spot, none other than my boy, Metal Bat himself. So, wow, this one was tough. This one was tough. Really, really tough. Here's a problem with Metal Bat. Okay, is that Metal Bat has a lot of good feats to him. We know that when he gets pumped up, he's gonna hit a home run, right? He's gonna knock somebody out. At this point in time, Garo was about to get absolutely decimated by Metal Bat. You go even further in the story. I mean, he's able to defeat Black S's by himself, right? Singular Black S's. That's a feat within itself. I would argue that a single Black S is demon level, just easily. He's able just to knock them out. And even going forward, I mean, throughout the story, he starts to get more amped up. He starts to get resonated. He starts to resonate with Garo, which then amplifies and boosts his power to a point where he can handle the fight with Sage Centipede, who is much stronger than Elder Centipede, who is one of the top three of the cadre, right? But that takes time. And Metal Bat doesn't have Saitama's durability. He doesn't have Saitama's defensive capabilities. If any of these guys who are before him actually did their final move on him at the start of the fight, he's done. He's done. He's not winning. He's done. He's losing. And that's why it's so hard with Metal Bat, because if you give him time, he's going to win. But you also have to assume that none of the attacks that are coming to hurt him are going to actually hurt him. 12 spot is a really good spot for Metal. So next up, at the number 11 spot, it's getting tough. I think we should place none other than my boy, Super Alloy Darkshine. I know. But it'll all make sense, I promise you. So the thing with Super Alloy is that he's got feats to his name, right? We know this. The dude is a tank. The dude is capable. He's able to essentially one-shot demon level monsters like they're nothing. He's then able to buff himself up to the point where he's able to press, not only press, but almost kill a pre-awakened Garo, you know? And that Garo was getting pressed. But the conversation today is post Monster Association. And if y'all remember, Darkshine was strong. Very, very strong. Very, very capable. He did very great against pre-awakened Garo. But this happened. He lost. And for him, he's never had that happen. And so it's not the fact that he's not physically capable of being even higher. It's the fact that he's now put mental barriers on himself that have destroyed his confidence, which has lowered his level of power. I don't even know if he'd want to fight. I don't think any of these guys below him would be able to put a dent in him. Metal Bat wouldn't be pumped up because he wouldn't fight back. And so obviously he couldn't put a scratch on him. That's why he's right here. But post Monster Association, this dude is done. I don't see him ever fighting. I don't see him really going forward. So until we see that in the manga, even in the webcomic, I think this is a good place to put him. So for the number 10 spot, I think the best person to truly go with at this time would be none other than my boy, Child Emperor. Now, Child Emperor, man, he grew on me during this arc. His fight with Phoenix Man, particularly the pre-retcon, if y'all know what I'm talking about, one of the best fights I've ever seen in my entire life. Well, red, you know what I mean? But amazing. Child Emperor has a lot going for him. Child Emperor is the first is he's truly smart. I think he's second to maybe Bufoy in the Hero Association. Now, arguably, when we talk about Drive-Night, that's a different story, but he's very, very smart. He's also got a number of inventions that he can deploy for himself. As you can see, his backpack is ready to go. He can make something happen, and he has defense, he has offense, he has a lot of different capabilities. Then he has his Watchdog Man that can come together and make Cerberus, which is pretty capable. His Watchdog Man also give him an extra buffer when it comes to defense. They come at the right point in time whenever he may lose his life, and he's got a couple of them. So Child Emperor has not only the capabilities of escaping a life and death situation, but he's also got the smarts. Now, as y'all know, if y'all are manga readers, the real thing that makes Child Emperor just at this level of power, in my opinion, is Brave Giant. Brave Giant is crazy. Pre-retcon, this may have lifted Child Emperor at a higher spot. If y'all know what I'm talking about, he did a Dragon Ball Z Kamehameha style type attack on Phoenix Man to finish him off, which was arguably on the level of what Orochi did. It kind of looked like it was on the same level. Now, it looked like it, we don't know, but Child Emperor was a beast. Now, Phoenix Man is one of those where you gotta put respect on him. Because the scariest thing about Phoenix Man is he's a lot like Garo. It's not the fact that you have to just kill him, it's the fact that if you don't kill him when you fight him at that time, good luck, because he's gonna come back stronger each and every single time. It's like when Phoenix Man loses, he upgrades. How do you beat that, right? And how do you beat somebody who can continually come back to life? We never saw that there was a cap on that. But Child Emperor did a really good job in his fight. Here we go. The Gigavolt Smash. Truly, truly impressive. So I think where Child Emperor is at this moment in time is above Super Alloy Darkshine. I think his power that he showed with Phoenix Man, and that was right his final attack. But his Brave Giant, I believe, was at like 4% power, maybe 10% power. I have to go back and look at it. But I think if Brave Giant was healthy going up against a mentally buffed Darkshine, Child Emperor is coming out on top. And so I think the perfect person to wrap up this group is one of those heroes that we seldomly hear about. We really don't know much, but what we do, this dude is goated. But since he doesn't have any more feats, we have to put him here. But Watchdog Man is on a different level. So I don't know if y'all really know about Watchdog Man. So y'all know that there are different cities in the world of One Punch Man. Arguably, they're the size of states or the size of countries, whatever, right? But different heroes are stationed in different cities to protect that city. I don't know if y'all know this, but Watchdog Man is the only hero in his city. I'm gonna say that one more time. Watchdog Man is the only hero in his city. You know how much of a him type of quote that is? I don't need nobody else, I'm good. I don't need him. I don't need no other S class, I'm good. And if you see it, I mean, he's literally taking out people just with one paw, right? I mean, his performance against Garo should speak for itself. When Garo felt pressured when he was fighting Bomb and even Bang, he resorted to copying the actions of Watchdog Man to even just escape, right? The fact that Watchdog Man's agility was like that to escape Bang and his brother Bomb, who are powerhouses in the city, speaks to Watchdog Man's capabilities. That was when he wasn't even pressed. Imagine a pissed off Watchdog Man. This dude's going to be on a different level of power. But from what we've seen from him, I think it's a good place to put him at 9. And so at the number 8 spot, I think it should go to none other than the demon cyborg himself, Mr. Genos. So, Mr. Genos, man, I don't know why I'm calling him Mr. Genos. Genos, he had an insane Monster Association arc. He got a lot of power-ups. He did really, really good. I mean, as y'all can see with his armor that he got, I believe it's called his Draconic armor. The dude looks fucking amazing, first of all. But he was able to have one of, in my opinion, see one of the coolest sequences. Just looking back, that looks freaking amazing. Where he was in a beam struggle with Sai Orochi. Now that is no small feat, right? Sai Orochi was able to shave a part of the earth off. With what Genos did here, I think this does put him at this spot. Now, the hard part about this is that Genos only has this for, I believe, 10 seconds, maybe 20. I know that there's a time limit on when he can fully be at his full power, right? But Genos doesn't have a single win against a dragon level monster. That's the problem. I think he's smashing demon level monsters like it's nothing here, right? But I just don't see him beating, particularly the people who these guys fight, the people that are above him, and winning. I just don't. We kind of have to knock you down a few pegs because you don't have a win, but you still get a win because you're just him. So with spot number 7 and 6, where it stands, I'm not too sure who would win. I think it's very, very close, but with spot number 7, I do think we have to give it to my boy Kamikaze, aka Atomic Samurai. Some of y'all may be thinking like, what? Why is he even all the way up here? Well, there's a few things with Atomic Samurai. First, when it comes to Atomic Samurai, I know he's not the fastest in terms of running, but his speed feats in terms of what he's capable of is kind of ridiculous. As you can see, he's just killing monsters like it's nothing left and right. But also, the majority of the arc, Atomic Samurai was facing off against Black S. Now, what makes Black S very, very hard is that you're one against all these different millions, trillions of them, and he did relatively well. But the one thing that really makes him jump up stock here, gets a hold of the Moonblade. That's what made him jump stock with me. Is not only the fact that he was able to counterattack a charged up homeless emperor attack, he also chopped off Golden S's arm. Now, if y'all remember, Golden S was the one who completely decimated Vomited Fear Ugly, who completely decimated Super Alloy Darkshine, and a few others. Like it was nothing. But what he did here, I think, would have him above everybody else. Arguably, Watchdog Man, we don't know, but still, I think this is a pretty good spot for Atomic Samurai. And so the next person who rounds up number 6 would be, in my opinion, Drive Knight. So when speaking about Drive Knight, there's a few things that you really have to think about, right? Is this dude is a cyborg as capable as Genos, but he's also as smart as Child Emperor, and he's as sneaky as anybody else. He's always ready for any situation, and he's one of the few S-Class heroes to actually beat a dragon level monster by himself. So we have to put him up here because he did that feat. He is dragon level, bar none. There's no question. He is dragon level. He beat Neon. And then the scariest part about Drive Knight is his transformations. They're based off of shogi pieces, which shogi is like Japanese chess, which means we didn't see his final piece. I mean, just imagine what Drive Knight is fully capable of. First of all, one, if he's pissed off, because he's always just been even kilter with some kind of, underlying mission, but he's never really been mad. He's never really been pressed. But imagine that with his final form. A final form that is arguably, in my opinion, going to make his other forms look like nothing. And we're going to make a video on Drive Knight because there's a lot to Drive Knight that a lot of people don't know. And Drive Knight is very suspect. And Drive Knight is going to be very important to the story moving forward. I think it's safe to put him at spot number 6. But for the number 5 spot to round us off here, I think it should go to this Mr. SilverFang himself. So I think this is a really good spot for him. So a really good place marker for, hey, look, this is where we really start to get to after Bang. These guys are just next level. Nobody in the S-Class would be able to hold a candle to these guys if they were to take it seriously. He's just capable. He's a master of Kung Fu. He's a master of martial arts. He's the one who, when you go to have a martial arts fight, you go to train with him. He's the one who Garo has modeled himself after. He's the one who Garo had to overcome. Garo had the best Bang in order to become the best monsterized version of himself. He's able to fight against dragon level monsters like it's nothing. He's even able to turn the tide against 2 of them after fighting Overgrown Rover, after fighting Elder Centipede, after doing all of this. And at an old age, Bang is still very, very capable. So Bang is going to round out our list at number 5. So at the number 4 spot, I don't think y'all are going to gel with me on this, but when we walk it through, I think it'll make a lot of sense. The number 4 spot should go to King. So I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, right? Like, it's King, right? When you think about King, it's not really King that you're thinking about, it's Saitama. And I don't disagree with you, but we're not right on that too. It's not always Saitama. It's whatever is in the vicinity that can help him the best. Now, if y'all remember, when King was asked to go after um, the cadre of the S class, Child Emperor was coming up with this idea for everybody to gang up on the two outside so that King could release his ultimate Hellfire Burst Wave Emotion Cannon that is supposedly this massive just Kamehameha that's going to destroy everything. Well, that wasn't King. We know King is just a regular human. We would suspect that that would be Saitama, but it actually ended up being none other than Garo. And so the thing that makes King susceptible to being beaten, it's not the fact that he doesn't have luck on his side. Well, we all know that's his power, that's his ability. But it's the fact that he will always have luck on his side, but let's say that the luck isn't powerful enough. Let's say that the luck isn't fast enough. Let's say that the luck doesn't have the Esper powers, right? Then King is getting decimated. Let's say Saitama and Garo, who happen to be on the planet at that time, let's say they were on Jupiter at that time. It's going to happen. So, when you think about King, it's not really the fact that, yeah, we think about Saitama being King, King is Saitama, but King is not just Saitama, King is luck. That's his power. So, if his luck can be overpowered or oversped or just something where it's not the dominant force in that moment, then King is going to lose. So that's why King is at number 4. And so for the number 3 hero spot, I know some of y'all are going to be like, Kami, what the hell are you talking about? But let's walk it through. The number 3 spot for the S Class and One Punch Man post Monster Association arc goes to none other than Flashy Flash. What's up, guys? So I had to re-record this Flashy Flash. I don't know why it didn't record, but I'm kind of glad that it didn't. So the one thing about Flashy Flash that a lot of people need to consider is that this dude is a powerhouse, right? When we've been going through the S class, we've been kind of having this thing of a lot of these people aren't able to beat dragon level monsters by themselves. Well, not too sure, but do y'all remember what Flashy Flash did? One of my favorite fights in the entire series. Ninjas, in my opinion, are just dragon level to begin with. Their speed feats speak for themselves. Now, what Flashy Flash did is stupid. He didn't just fight one, he fought 2 of them at the same time. And not only did he do particularly well, he was speed blitzing not only one ninja, but 2 ninjas at the same time. I highly recommend going back and looking at this fight. Great fight. Arguably, their base levels, in my opinion, could be dragon level, but it also speaks to the power level of Flashy Flash, but also to the power level of a certain someone who's the number 1. I'm sure y'all can guess who that is. But when we're speaking about him, it's crazy. He was able to fight 2 dragon level monsters, take them out, mind you, and then he fought Platinum S and he fought Garo at the same time. Arguably, Platinum S is the strongest Earth-based monster we've seen in the entire show. Arguably. But also, he fought Garo. A Garo that just beat Bang. A Garo that is awake. That Garo that fought Bang was asleep. This is a Garo that began to fight Saitama. This is crazy when you think about it. Flashy Flash is crazy. And when you think about speed feats, you want to know what's really crazy? You know how fast you have to be to make constellations in the sky? That's crazy to me. That's busted. Honest with you, I don't see anybody below him contending with him, especially if he gets serious. They won't have the speed feats to even contest it. Maybe Kamikaze's Atomic Slash or Atomic Beeline Slash. Maybe that may can contend, but outside of that, there's nothing. So he deserves to be in the top 3. It didn't record the number 2 spot too, but we're just going to move along with it. The number 2 spot goes to none other than the belle of the S-Class herself, Tatsumaki. So Tatsumaki, for those who don't know, I think is the goalpost for the S-Class heroes for what they are truly trying to get to. The Blast, we'll go over him soon, but Blast is on a completely different level. What she did in the Monster Association arc is incredible because she not only fought the number one actual head of the Monster Association. We know that you had King Orochi, but let's be honest, the one who was ruling in the shadows was Gyoro, who in turn was Psychos. Not only did Tatsumaki mop up the puppet that Psychos was using, she actually mopped up Psychos as we see right now. I really wanted to show this still here for the manga and the webcomic to show the parallel that it didn't matter in what continuity, she was always going to put that work to Psychos. Now, Psychos, when you look at her in her totality, you take Tatsumaki out of the picture, Psychos is number one, without a doubt. Psychos is the most powerful Esper we've seen in the series. But then you take it a step further. And Psychos, after losing to Tatsumaki, originally begins to merge with Orochi, which then begins to turn into Cyrochi. Now, Cyrochi is insane. Cyrochi is the monster that was able to shave off, during this fight, a piece of the Earth's surface, and that was just an attack. Not even her full force. That's wild. And Tatsumaki's going toe to toe with her. Not only is Tatsumaki going toe to toe with her, Tatsumaki's doing this while protecting the heroes. One thing about Tatsumaki that people need to think about is that if you have the ability to change the geography, you're in a completely different realm. My favorite line of Naruto of all time was when Madara first showed up, and I believe he's fighting the five Kage, and he's like, since it's only me and not the first Hokage, the maps won't need to be redrawn that much. You want to know how crazy of a line that is, and Tatsumaki is that. Tatsumaki literally starts to strangle, twist up the Monster Association from the bottom up, flip it on its side, to then deal the finishing blow to Orochi. Because did escape, but still, she won. And while protecting hundreds of people. I gotta give the number 2 spot to Tatsumaki, because anybody that's coming before her doesn't really have a chance. So I know before we get to the number 1 spot, which I think is pretty obvious at this point, I know a few of y'all are like, why have you talked about this guy? Well, the thing about Metal Knight is we haven't seen him in action. Keep in mind, this is up to the end of the Monster Association. I personally think, if we take all things into consideration, Metal Knight is obviously number 2. May even be number 1, but he's obviously number 2. But with where it stands, we just don't know. So Metal Knight is going to have his own category. That's going to be like question mark, because we just don't know. And so to top us off, the number 1 hero by a wide margin, I'm talking about a wide margin, is none other than your boy, Blast. I mean, guys, like, I don't know what else to say besides, like, this is how you want your favorite person who's writing a manga to introduce a character. I mean, every single thing about this dude has been hit, 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 hit. Like, he can't miss. His first thing that he did, which was nuts, mind you, was he completely sunned Flashy Flat. Like, sunned him. Hey, young man. Don't try that here. Slow your roll, alright? Too young for that. Literally, calm down a sec. Boy, what? I would have quit right there. I would have quit. Because we know what he did a few chapters later against Platinum S and Garo. But this man just sunned him. And then, guys, when we actually get to see him, when we actually get to see Blast truly box it out, oh my god, it's a different level of power. Like, what can he do? He's got gravitational power, which means he's busted, right? But he's got gravitational power. He's got dimensions. He's got travel. He can travel to different dimensions. He can go toe to toe for a split second with Garo. I mean, what can't Blast do? What he was doing was insane, guys. Insane. Like, I can't wait. Blast is, man, he's different. He's just different. With gravitational powers, too, the scariest thing about Blast is his powers go as far as his mind does. He can really make it a black hole like we've seen with this. He can make it into just 100 times Earth's gravity. I mean, what can't this dude do? Blast is number one, easily, easily, and it's not even close. When you get Cosmic Fear Mode Garo to say you're number one S class for a reason, and let's keep this in mind too. The scariest, most powerful thing about Blast is that he's had multiple interactions with God and came out unscathed, came out still with his mind intact. You know how busted you actually have to be? Look, when God wanted his powers back from Homeless Emperor, from Cosmic Fear Mode Garo, he plucked him right, fast, and easy. He has no problem with it. And he's a good dude. He's an actual hero. He truly wants to do nothing besides protect everybody. So, in my opinion, guys, Blast deserves to be the S-Class hero. Alright? So I wanted to show you guys what the tier list looks like in its totality since it's done now. So guys, this is the finalized tier list. I think this is a pretty good list. I'll just go ahead and go from the bottom. Down at the bottom as we just don't know, right? I don't know, we have Metal Knight. Rounding off the bottom of the S-Class, we have TankTop Master. Number 16, we have Puri Prisoner. Number 15, we have ZombieMan. Number 14, we have Sweet Mask. Number 13, we have Pig God. Number 12, we have Metal Bat. Number 11, we have Super Alloy Darkshine. Number 10, we have Child Emperor. Number 9, Watchdog Man. I think that's a really good list right there, 9 through 12. Number 8, we have Genos. Number 7, we have Atomic Samurai. Number 6, we have Drive Knight. Number 5, we have Bang / SilverFang. Number 4, we have King. Number 3, we have Flashy Flash. Number 2, we have Tatsumaki. Number 1, we have Blast. Guys, I think that's going to wrap us up this video. We do a lot on this channel. We do reactions. Check us out. We do One Piece. We do Free Ren. We do JoJo's. We do number 8 Kaiju number 8. I'm doing Go-Go Rangers, but if that doesn't get love, I will drop that. But we are getting started in the One Punch Man stuff. I love this series. So if y'all could do me a favor, if you could click that like button, click subscribe, comment down below. Best comment gets a shout out next week with the next video. But yeah, kami-ttc out. We'll see y'all with the next one. And let me know what y'all think of the tier list.